Hello, everybody. Welcome back to episode number 29 here in the Systematic Factory. Jerry is really going to town up here in his rocket. I did make some changes. I figured out some stuff that I missed that was pretty obvious to make it so he could stay up here a lot longer. Right now, he's been up here long enough to make 386 data banks. I am getting ready to send him back home so I can use those data banks to do some research. The first things first, we got to put him in his suit. And then when we go back here, all we're going to do is land that rocket. And I am working on a new rocket. So let's land this one. We finished researching the petroleum engine. And so I'm building a new rocket pad here to do some experiments with that. The issue is we need a solid oxidizer for our large petroleum engine, and I want to use oxalate, but I don't have it. So I just put down an oxalate refinery just to figure out what we need to do that. We need to put oxygen into it and then gold, and then it makes oxalate for us. We've done that before. It's not difficult. The problem is I don't have any gold left on this map. I don't have a gold volcano, so I don't have a renewable source of it. So that's a problem. I've also used up all the gold amalgam for other projects, I think, or I turned it all into gold. I mean, I have some, but not a lot. So we could process some gold, but I'd rather leave that gold amalgam. What I want to do instead, here on Hazard Auto, I've been working on clearing the map and doing some other things. Down here, there are two more neutronium spots. This one is a carbon dioxide geyser. This one, I did the little trick to check and see what it is, and it is a gold volcano. So if we can get down here and harness this gold volcano, we'll be able to get a renewable source of gold we can use to make oxalate. So that's what I'm going to focus on today. We have some things that are going to be a little hard to do that because we have some beta hives here, or beta hives here. We're going to have to deal with that. We have some water we have to work around. Nothing too major, though. I think if I come down this way, we'll be able to get to this. I've never dealt with the bees at all. And so I don't think there's just any active in here. I also don't know about the Saturn critter traps. I've never interacted with those either. So I think we're going to have to be careful when we come down in here, but I think we'll be fine. So what I'm going to do is just start by building a ladder down into here, and then we'll find out what happens. Deal with that. But back on our main colony, we've now finished the research because we brought that in. So let's check out our research to set up our next step. We're already working on high velocity destruction, which is good. So this can get finished with what we have, which means we'll be able to get a drill cone. The goal of that is we're going to be building a rocket that can get us to the far edges. I want to find other planets or resource spots, I should say, not other planets, and start drilling for different resources. And the main reason for that is that I want to get into doing supercoolant. And if we go back in here and take a look, I finished a couple of the things that we were working on. I now am down to the point where I need to tame a puff and a gassy moo. So those are going to be the ones we got to figure out. Same with this gassy moo. We need the supercoolant for this. Not okay, but pretty cool. We finished totally tubular. We just had people using the transit tube long enough. We also finished, if I can find it, down the hatch. Down the hatch is to do 10 tons of refined metal from smooth ranch hatching. We did that. So we're set there. So now we're pretty much in the spot where these are all space related. We got to get the gassy moos. Our research is space related because we have to continue to do the space research. And then we need to start working on easy living and job suitability. Those are going to be involved in getting our duplicates set up in a more controlled state so that we have them more easy to manage. And we're going to do that after we get to space and get some space material so that we can start building some things that are like permanent buildings that we won't be swapping anything out. And then we're going to take a look at the DLCs. But for now, we're focusing on those things. So if we go back to our rocket here, in the interior, we already got all of these out. Oh, no, actually, we still have those there. So we're going to sweep those data banks to get them taken out and put where they need to go. And then we're going to, as soon as that's done, this has been stocked again. We have plenty of food, 200 kilograms. We have 20 tons of plastic. As soon as somebody grabs that, we will set this back to be a crew-only rocket, which will put Jerry back in it, and we can send him back up for some more time in space getting all of our things done for us. If somebody wants to come complete this, that would be awesome. Well, we'll let them take care of that. We'll get Jerry back up in space doing his research. And in the meantime, I'm going to work on getting us down to the point where we can set up a gold volcano tamer. I've been getting a lot more work in here, getting ready to do the things that I need to get our gold up and running. I did come down here and build a copy of our volcano tamer. This is overkill for a gold volcano because we don't need the 2 steam turbines, but figured we'll make it the same. Currently, I have everything vacuumed out. I have everything set up. The problem is I don't want to start filling this up and turning it on until I have my duplicants in Atmos suit, because whenever they come in here, they're going to be outgassing and causing issues. So for now, I still have this in here in case they come in here to do anything. Once I get them in Atmos suits, I can take that out, seal this up, put some gases in here like they're supposed to be, and we can actually crack it open and get moving. To get to Atmos suits, I've been doing some work. So I connected a power line from here all the way over to this side so that I can connect up power up here. They're still building that. I built out a little room next to our pods. We're going to be doing the pod style living here where each person has their own room. And the reason for that is, A, I like that, and B, that'll help us when we go to do the achievement for the everyone doing the task in a suit, because we'll keep everybody in their own pod. We'll make sure everybody leaves their pod and goes and does a task, and that'll get us that achievement. Right now I have, let's see, I have 2, 4, 6, 8 pods, and I have 21 duplicates total. I think I probably am going to end up building out more of these and just moving everybody over here, except maybe a couple people on the other side that will also have pods, or maybe I'll just replicate this on the other colony, and I haven't quite decided with that. But here we're working out all the kinks. So I have the Atmos suit docks built in. I'm building up the automation for them. I have the bathrooms put in. I got to run piping for that. Put up here. And these bathrooms are going to be a little fancier than they need to be. The showers really don't help that much as far as morale goes. But, you know, I'm trying to go fancy here, so. As far as the Great Hall goes, we're going to have just a single mess table for them. We'll decorate it to get up to a Great Hall, and then we'll have the rehydrators, and we'll have our receptacles with a sweeper to fill them up with dehydrated food so that they can rehydrate their meals as they need them. We're going to be shipping food over from the other colony for now. And so back on Dampina, I have started working on running conveyor rail from here. Up here we have, I just changed this over to a smart one and I haven't fixed it yet, so let's put this up. We want dehydrated food in here. I just want 1,000 kilograms. So that'll go back to storing 1,000 meals, which are currently sitting on the floor. And any excess after this is filled up. Well, actually, it's going to be just a split in the line. So it will half go here, half go over to the other colony. But it'll keep this full. This will tell the conveyor chute to stop dropping out meals because it's full. And that's what I switched this out to. I just had a regular storage bin, and I didn't worry about automating it because it was never going to fill up. Well, I filled it up. So I could always store more here if I need to, but it's better, I think, to just once I have 1,000, that means I have enough to survive for 500, or I'm sorry, 50 cycles. Actually, closer to 75 cycles just stored away, and we're always producing more food, so it'll restock itself to keep it at that level. And the surf and turf is stored here, so we always have plenty of it to convert. We just need somebody doing the work, which is always running. Anyway, we're going to be having that food split off from here. It'll come across down this way and come across over to here once we get that built. And then back on our new colony, we need to just run a conveyor line from here and come out of it. I'm going to actually come out the bottom. We'll come across here, we'll go across the top, and then we're going to come down here through all of these, and we'll set it up so that that is... these conveyor receptacles will always be filled up with food, and that means that these can always keep the rehydrators stocked, and they will have food for everything they need. Eventually, we'll get set up over here to do a food production for this colony as well, but for now, I can support both colonies off the main colony. As far as water goes, I am going to have to do the same thing. So the next thing we need to work on is getting a water line set up from our water storage to come down and ship water over to the other side, so that we can use it for our rehydrators. Let's quick check on our rocket up here. Ooh, we have 844 units now. Jerry's been doing the work for quite some time. I'm actually going to bring him back down because that's enough to finish out all of the research. So I'm going to have him put his suit on, and then we'll go back down to the asteroid and bring the ship home. Have everything open. That's good. And for now, I'm going to be docking it for a while, so we can close these doors, which will take a while because they're not powered, but that's okay. We can open this one so that we can get in there and do the things that we need. And in here, let's set to sweep our data banks to get them out of here. I don't think there's anything else in here, but sweep it all out. And we'll get this restocked in case we need to go up for some more research. I'll probably end up converting this rocket to a deep space rocket just because I have the water and oxygen already in here. And this could be a good long-term rocket to be in space for long periods of exploration. We'll see. Depends how I design the rocket. But for now, I now have all the data I need for this research. I can finish out everything. All we have left to do is there's a little bit of materials research here. Then we have to do this research. And then these researches down here. And then we have finished the research tree for that achievement. While we're talking about achievements, let's check in on the things that we have gotten done while we worked on everything else. So we'll just go through it from the top again and see things. We still need to do the doctorate. We just talked about that. We have 6 more researches, but we have everything we need to do them, so now it's just a matter of time. We have to get away to tame a puffed and a gassy moo, which the gassy moo obviously is involving going into deep space to get to the gassy moo planet. Puffed, I'm just going to have to figure out a way to get a puffed into a room to get them trained. I have some, so it won't be a problem. Gassy moo, again, this we're going to need to get super coolant, so that's what the mining rocket is for, to get us access to that. We have finished totally tubular. We already saw that we got finished. We did finish the refining one as well. Just by random chance, we finished easy living. Our auto sweepers outperformed duplicants 5 cycles total, or 5 cycles, even though I wasn't trying to do that. I just had installed enough auto sweepers to get that one done. So that's kind of nice. As far as DLC achievements, we actually got a few done. This one was already done. That was when we just went to the new asteroid by teleport. We knocked out Sweeter Than Honey. We extracted uranium from a beta hive without getting stung. And I did that simply because there was a hive right where I was building our gold volcano tamer. So it was set to auto extract. So they extracted from it and then we got rid of it. So there was no bees there to sting us. So we got that achievement knocked out, which is pretty cool. We'll probably do these as well once we get done, but we're just mostly focused on these last few that we need in order to finish out this achievement run. So I'm going to let them continue doing the work to get these Atmos suits up and running, and we'll check back in once we have them up and we can start working on producing gold here on Hazardato. Did some more improvements around the base here at Hazardato. Have the pod pretty much up and running. Have everybody's assigned a bed. Everybody has food. Mostly, I think this one's out of food. I gotta check in on that, see what's going on. So when the food comes in, goes here, it should split and head down to where it needs to go. Let's see, is it splitting? It looks like it's splitting evenly because of the way I have that run, which means the ones down here aren't getting food. Like it's stocked up at the top first. So what I'm gonna have to do to fix that is run this conveyor rail. I think the best way to do this should come in from the bottom or from the top. Either way would be fine, but at the middle is a problem. Let's do it like this. And then run it up like this. And then I'm going to do a bridge. Okay, now, another issue is I'm going to have to allow access here for Amy, because she's the only one who can run those lines. And then I'm going to clip this. This one I won't have to change any access to because that is Amy's room. That's kind of why I had her there in the middle. I'll probably change that around. And then I can deconstruct this line. Like that. When she's not able to get out because she doesn't have a suit. I'm making suits as fast as I can, but that's why I can't get her out to do the other. So little things to tweak here. I have a suit there that has high durability, but it's not getting put on. Let me take a look at our suits. I have four units that are out there. I have 0 worn units, so it shouldn't count anything that's stored. Set this to allow manual use again. Apparently there are 4 somewhere in the base that are not being stored properly. I guess what I can do is I can set that to leave it as a allow manual use. That way if one of them gets dropped on the floor for whatever reason, somebody will pick it up and put it back in here. And then it'll reload the system. There's 2 Atmos suits for each dock. And then this one only holds 1. So I need 3 for each one. I need a total of 24 suits. And I didn't have enough made yet. So I'm still crafting 4 more. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this have an additional 8. I'm going to set this back up to 99. We'll need more copper to make those. That way we can end up with extra suits in the system, which will get stored, I guess, in the line to go to these things. But I guess it should have. Let's see what happens with this suit here. It should have an extra spot empty when somebody's out. Yeah, that's cool. He went and took the suit, put it where it needed to go because of that. Whenever there's somebody not in the base, there should be a slot that has nothing in it. This person is in here, so we need a suit into their spot. So once these are filled up and the suits start making their way around, we should be okay. I'm thinking that's the case. Anyway, we'll have to keep an eye on that. The food will get sorted with this once we get this line corrected. Oh, I guess the conveyor rails themselves, anybody can put them down. Doesn't have to be the mechatronics. That's good. So that'll get finished too. We'll get that hooked up and there'll be food going. I do have other food options still laying around in the base. I disabled the growth here, so they're going to end up eating up what I have left. So hopefully that all works out. If not, I'll have to do some quick management to move some food around. But the food line eventually will get stocked so that it's completely filled up and all these storages are filled up as well. And so that won't be a long-term issue. The bathrooms are all working fine now. And then I ran new lines to put a section in here. This is storing our polluted water, which is going to our thimble reeds, which are being used to do repairs on the suits. And I moved it over into here specifically because I wanted to be able to, if we had a problem where the suits were damaged, I could just open one of these doors so that they could come out without a suit and still work on it. But it's, and it wasn't across the map to do that. I sealed this room up and set it up so that there's, you know, it's a sealed base. That way I can stop pumping gases into this large area and just manage the gases in here. So basically they'll have oxygen throughout here, and then they'll have a suit on anytime they leave the door. And so I took the old Atmos suits from space out. Other thing I did is I set this gas pump up. So this gas pump pumps down here into this big loop. The gases are sorted. So hydrogen comes down here and it gets stored into here. Polluted oxygen is being stored into here. And then the oxygen that gets picked up coming back up here. And this is the last filter it'll hit. And this is a high pressure vent. So it'll pull oxygen out and it'll put it into here. And I put that kind of in the middle. I have a gas pump up here for any of the lighter gases like hydrogen. They'll get pulled in there. Oh, I don't have any automation set up with it. I want to say the shut off. So when this is sensing oxygen, this is shut off, is what this is supposed to do. So that means because there's oxygen here, it'll shut off. And when something else hits it, it'll turn on for a little bit. I'll have to tweak that probably. But the idea is that when it builds up so that there's a row of hydrogen at the top, it'll turn on to pump gas. But not pump gas when there's oxygen. I'm also working to build a space down here, right at the bottom of the base, and I'm just going to have it go down kind of like this. And I'm going to put a pump down in there, and then that way all the heavy gases can drop down in here, and I'll have it pump out gas in here to get rid of the natural gas and the carbon dioxide that's building up. That's the next phase I need to work on. Right now, we're just running off the water that's in here. This will last us a while, but we're going to have to set up water production. But everything is working now so that we have everybody in their suits. And that means I can actually start working on this without worrying about them coming in and accidentally off-gassing into the wrong spot. So that is good. I do have some work over here I need to work on. I messed up my pip farm, which means I messed up my wood source a little bit. I was running a conveyor line to get across here to make it so that I could get all the eggs out of here. The eggs are now sitting all up here. And that the dirt tiles or natural tiles that I had in place got dug out because of that, and I didn't think about it. So I need to fix that, but that's what we're running off of in fuel, so I definitely need to get more wood going, but because there's pips in here and there was other spaces for things to be planted, they did plant a few more trees. So now I'm back up to 5 arbor trees running. I want to get more than that, but I also want to redesign this pip farm now that I have the tech to do it so that it's more sustainable. That's a down the road project. Worst case scenario, if I run out of fuel, I can bring over petroleum from the main base to run some power through there. We're not using a ton of power here, so I think we'll be okay for a little while. The research project that we're working on, all we have left is just the materials research here. All the space research is done. All of the other researches are done. So we're just waiting on that to finish, and we'll be able to finish out that achievement. And that'll be the end of our episode today. So I'm going to come back once that's done, and we will finish that. But then after that, all we have left are a few minor achievements from space, which, you know, are going to be much more complicated than anything else, but we will get working on those so that we can finish out all of the base achievements pretty soon, and so I'm pretty excited about that. But like I said, I'm going to wait until this research is done. We'll come back, and I will show you a few minor things, and then we'll call it a day. Got our final achievement done, well, our final research done for our research achievement. So we finished off the monument achieved for research. Let's check out the colony achievement. Honorary doctorate, 97 out of 97. That's pretty good. I'm happy with that. So it's like I said before, we now have to do the gassy moves. We got to do the cooling the building down to super cooled temperatures, and then we have to do job suitability, and we're working on that. I also got the pod all done. Everything's working now. I've been running it for a little while and everything seems to be working great. I did some changing up with the food here. Oh, I still have 2 more of these. Why is that? Maybe the food is not super great at the moment. Looks like there's some people that aren't able to get food from in here because these need done. Why are these not? Unreachable. We do need our mechatronics person to get in there, so we're going to give her access. She'll go in and get those built. It looks like she's running to do it right now. But because everybody's in suits, I was able to get this section here finished up. So we have our gold volcano. We're doing research on it. It actually made some gold. The problem right now is I did some ice in here to do the temperature thing, where we use that to get the, you know, the ice will melt, that way we can make steam. This is heating up. This is gonna start causing problems if this heat doesn't transfer, and there's no gas in here to do it. I think what I'm gonna have to do is get some water over to there. So let me think of the best way to do that, because I don't think I can fit a... Oh, I can fit a bottle emptier in here. Okay. Problem is there's no air in the room for the heat to transfer into those temp shift tiles, and I don't want to put anything other than water or steam in there because that's what we want to have in here. If I let this other gas in to allow it to transfer, then I got to get the gas out later. So if I put this bottle emptier in real quick, and I set this to do water and enable auto bottle and set it to 9. Somebody will go grab me water real quick, and that means we'll get what we need. I'm gonna take this and disable it because I have enough in here now, and we'll do something to empty this out in just a minute. But I want to get this water going, but this is now up and running pretty much. We still have a little bit of things to work out. There we go. That's just enough to get things going. Oh, it's turning straight into ice right away because it's so cold in here. Maybe we'll have to put a little bit more water in just to let that heat go. We look at this. The temperature of the petroleum's already down to -2. That's crazy. The temperature is going in here. So we'll have to, I think we're going to have to keep putting some water in there until we get enough water to transfer over to these temp shift plates at least, so that when the next gold comes, it will allow us to do that. Do I not have anybody here who can do research? Let's see. Oh, so far I've had this happen twice. And same thing happened to Amy. Skills just got reset, because this person was set up to do my research and my cooking. I don't think I wiped them. Fine, we'll do the field research there and give that job to Linda so she can get down there and do the job. But it's so strange that I lost skill point. I don't know what could have caused that, because I didn't assign anybody to the skill scrubber that I recall doing. but I had 2 different duplicates who were reset to 0. Okay, so we're gonna let this water go and fill up in here, and we'll get this running. I'm also working on building this one out now, so that we can get some iron being produced on this side of our teleport rift, and that way we can either send it back to make steel, or we may try to figure out a way to do steel production here. It would be a lot more difficult since we don't have any kind of magma source, but there are different ways that you can do it, especially because we're about to get into space technology. So that's pretty cool, but this gold is going to allow us to send it over to the main colony, and then over here we're going to be building the oxalite so that we can... Uh-oh. Oh, that's okay. Temp chef plates are supposed to melt. It said building melted, and I got a little concerned. But that is okay. They're supposed to melt, so we will let that go. That happened faster than just as fast as I wanted. Okay, so now we have water all the way across, so as our aqua tuner heats up, it will have somewhere to transfer the heat, and when the gold comes in, it'll also have somewhere to transfer the heat. Our steam turbines are set up, ready to go to handle the extra heat coming into here, and everything is great. So the ice in here, now that we have water, I'm going to just sweep all this out of here and get rid of it, because we had more than we needed. I'm going to also disable this, and I'm going to deconstruct it, and I'm going to sweep up that water bottle because I don't want that sitting in there. Last thing we have to do, and then we'll do this after we get the research done, is to block out this room so that we can get rid of the gas in here, and then put in a door. We could also vacuum the area out, but it's a lot easier to just put down 6 tiles and then break them to create a vacuum. And then this is done. This will just produce this gold forever, how we want it to do it. I think what I'm going to do real quick before we do anything else, I want to pump up that petroleum that's up there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this line so that we can feed that extra petroleum into the system. Because it's only a couple hundred kilograms per tile, and once that's all up, then I can remove this section up here. And this was just the simplest way to get petroleum into the line, because I have petroleum from a hand pump, and doing that allowed me to just have somebody drop it off and pump it in. I'm sure you've seen me or somebody else do that before. So the other thing we need to do is connect this to our grid so that the power has somewhere to go. That's going to be a little bit of a challenge, because on this map I have the main grid power up there. I'll have to figure out how I want to do the power there. I might just set up a power converter to send the power back into itself and burn the power off that way. It'll still generate power even if it has nowhere for it to go, so for now we're okay. And everything is going great. So, like I said, in the next episode, I'm going to work on doing the final achievements, or at least make progress to them. I'm hoping to get them soon. Job suitability, we just need to set up some more pods for the rest of our dupes so that they can always be in suits and doing work. And we need to get the... we finally did tame a puff. I did that here. I just put them in this room, and so they kept getting tamed. He's right there, actually. So we're good with him. And all we need for the taming is the Gassy Moos. We need the Gassy Moo achievement. And we need to cool down a building. So we're getting really close to having all the base game achievements done. And then we can decide if we want to go on to work on some of the DLCs before we call it a day in this playthrough. But I'm pretty excited to be almost done with all the achievements. We're a little higher than I would have liked. I think we could do it faster, but for the first time going through doing all the achievements in a single run, I'm pretty happy. Anyway, I've rambled on long enough. I hope you enjoyed watching it, and we will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.